Welcome back to beautiful Nicaragua. Today I have an opportunity I wanted to bring to you. Next year is around the corner, 2025, and I feel like this opportunity is going to open the door for a lot of people that have been wanting to come to Nicaragua. I have a friend named Karissa, and she's an entrepreneur. She's a coach and mentor. And next year she's going to be hosting an event here, bringing like-minded people, people who are looking to recharge their battery to keep going next year, or people who are looking to disconnect, because that's what Nicaragua is. Nicaragua is a feeling over here. You come to recharge. So she's going to be holding this event next year, and we're going to be talking about it. She'll share all the details, and she'll tell you how much it costs, and maybe you can decide if you like it or not. To me, I think it's a good deal. And I'm bringing this to you because you guys, as followers of my channel, I want people to have opportunities to come visit this beautiful country. And when I see those opportunities present itself, and I know there are good opportunities where you'll be taken care of, and it's the right way to come visit here, then I present these opportunities to you. So let's jump into this video call with her. And if you have questions at the end of the video, just leave them in the comment section. All right, Karissa, I am excited here to share what we have going on for this upcoming year. But before we jump into these like beautiful details that you got going on, can you share a little bit about yourself so the followers here can kind of understand why you're choosing to do something like this?
Yeah, thanks, Elton. So I am a natural entrepreneur, and in the last few years, I've discovered that sharing my entrepreneurial journey with other people through the modality of coaching um, is really powerful. And so the last 5 years, I've dedicated myself to creating a coaching business, becoming a certified coach, and then working to really help entrepreneurs and individuals, mostly women, but I do work with some men, to feel better in their personal life and then help them design a business that really gets them excited to live and wake up. Um, and really, I focus on entrepreneurs because that's what I am, that's what I know. And yeah, I love business, I love humans, and I love Nicaragua, and I'm really excited to talk with you and your followers today. So thank you for making this possible for us.
Awesome, awesome. And when was your first like introduction to Nicaragua?
Yeah, so I went to Nicaragua for the very first time when my daughter was 2. So that would be 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I had visited many Central American countries, and Nicaragua I instantly fell in love with. It is the safest place that I'd ever visited in Central America, the friendliest place. And honestly, it's just like unicorn land. Like the minute your feet touch Nicaraguan soil, you feel differently.
It's like a feeling. That's a lot of people say that, right? When they get come here. It's kind of weird when I notice some people get bit by the bug and some
Yeah,
don't. You know,
yeah,
so it's either you love it or it's not for you. It's not like an in middle ground, you know?
100%. Yeah, exactly.
And so what are you thinking of doing this upcoming year in terms of like combining your passion and Nicaragua here?
Yeah,
Can you tell us
so
about it?
yeah, definitely. I'm really excited. So we've been coming since 2016 to Nicaragua, and as you know, Nicaragua is growing in popularity. There's more retreat centers, and last year, my good friend Meg and Jessa started developing property, and they were like, "We would love if you brought a retreat here." And I
Hmm.
started to think about it, and I finally am ready to pull the trigger and invite people to come to Nicaragua, specifically San Juan del Sur, which is in the south. And we're going to have a magical escape where you're going to be able to come experience all of the beauty, the nature, the activities that are available in Nicaragua, as well as meet other women, other entrepreneurs, and focus on, really grounding yourself. I think the beauty of what Nicaragua brings me every year when I go back and visit, because now we have family and community there, so we're,
Yeah.
lifetimers. Um, is it brings me back to myself, and it
Hmm.
aligns me to why I come back to the States and hustle. and it brings me peace and calm, and like it's unimaginable. It's like what you said, you know, you either get bit by the bug or you don't, and that's
Hmm.
really true. You know, all these friends and people I have down there, they're from Germany, they're from Spain, they're from Canada, they're from the United States, they're from all over. And they come to Nicaragua because it's the best version of themselves. So, really, you know, this retreat is called the Escape. But
Hmm.
what I think it's going to do for the people who decide to come is it's going to help them know themselves better.
Oh, amazing, beautiful. And during the retreat, though, are you going to be doing coaching yourself, or is it a retreat where someone just goes to mentally recharge and come back ready for more? You know, what can
Yeah.
you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's like it's going to be a combination. You know, I'm leading the retreat, so it's me and my business that's putting it on. So obviously there is, you know, going to be the reality that I'm there. So if you want to talk business, I'm down. Let's talk business. But
Okay.
the flow of the retreat is truly to escape. You know, the one
Hmm.
thing that I've learned in entrepreneurship, and I'm sure that you can relate to this too, is we have to be so closely connected to why we're doing it. Otherwise, we get
Hmm.
really burnt out. So the invitation here is for people to come and connect back to themselves. So it really is a recharge. You know, you're going to get off your hamster wheel that you're on. You're going to escape. You're going to come to Nicaragua. We've got yoga every day available for you if you feel up to it. None of these activities are required. They're all just there, and you're
Hmm.
paying for them so you can participate, or if you want to sleep in, you can sleep in. But we got yoga and meditation every day that'll be led by myself or some other professional. We have obviously time where I'm going to be available to do kind of like group coaching, journaling, and kind of some of that deep dive. And really, like, if you want to focus on healing, like, we can focus on healing. If you want to, like, I would love to sit with Karissa and work on my business plan or find a strategy.
Mm.
We can do that. So there's time carved out for that. There's a pool on site. We're going to go horseback riding because Rancho Chilamante is a beautiful, they have acreage where they're actually, in Nicaragua, you call them marzanos. So it's
Manzanas, yeah.
manzanas. And so there's horses on site. So you can also, you know, I think horses are magical. So there's healing naturally happening all the time. So we're going to go horseback riding. They have a sailboat. So we're going to go on a sailboat adventure out in the Pacific Ocean. There's beaches very close by. So you could potentially go to the beach every day if you wanted, but we're going to have like a, you know, retreat beach day. And, you know, all your meals are thoughtfully curated. We have obviously Nicaraguan chefs who are going to come and cook, you know, the delicious meals. So you're not going to have to think about taking care of yourself. You're just going
Mm.
to be taken care of. We have a couple different masseuses that are going to come. Luis, who is like, literally, I dream of Luis, and I think I had messaged you the other day, like, you need to
Yeah.
go see Luis. He will fix your back.
Yeah.
We're gonna have massages for everyone who comes, and then there's other things you can add on. You know, if you want to go into the town and you want to shop, if you want to take a surfing lesson, if you want to ride around on an ATV, I mean, there's so many things that
Wow.
you can do, or you can just chill out and lay by the pool and get a tan and watch the monkeys and see the horses and pet the horses and, you know, immersed in the nature.
Wow. Like to me, that sounds great because listening to you, it sounds like you pick what you want in order to recharge yourself. And whether that be it to sleep in and go horseback riding in the evening or wake up early and go to the beach in the morning. Like
Yeah.
I like that flexibility. And I think with Nicaragua, one of the things that people need to realize that here it's almost best that you don't overplan,
Yep.
like day to day, minute to minute. It's always best to just wake up and go with the flow or what you're feeling. And
Yeah.
it's just Nicaragua time here, it just moves differently. And when you overplan, it's just generally the time it's just worry for nothing and it doesn't line up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. What's this? I think we always are like, are we on Nika time or
Oh
American
yeah,
time? You know,
exactly.
because the Nika time is, I mean, I think the magic of Nicaragua is here in the US, we're so busy being busy that we're going through drive-throughs. It's getting food as quickly as you can, getting to and from as quickly as you can. Where in Nicaragua, you're like, oh, this guy has a flat tire. Like, let's all get out and help. Maybe he needs
Yeah.
some water, or maybe we're just going to give him a ride to his next spot. You slow down and you're intentional and you take time. When I'm in San Juan del Sur, now that I've been there so much, it's like, you got to I go to yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If I'm not there at least by 8:30, I'm going to be late to class because I'm going to see Luis. I'm going to walk by his house. I want to say hi to him.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk by the pharmacy, and the wife is going to want to say hi. I'm going to walk past the bakery where I go after my yoga, and so it's like you slow down. And so you're totally right. And that's why the retreat is really designed for flexibility. There's like one thing a day. But if you wake up and you're like, all I want to do is lay in this hammock, go for it. Like, nobody's going to be upset with you. That's like the beauty of Nicaragua is it's like the one place in the world where judgment doesn't really exist.
Yeah, man, you put it well. And let me ask you this, in terms of the group, like, since this is your first time doing this, right? Bringing people to Nicaragua, like, how big of a group are you thinking for this time?
Yeah, so I've got 2 people who are all in, committed. They've paid a deposit to me, so that's really exciting. Um, I'm hoping to get between 5 and 10. I think
Okay.
5 is a beautiful collaboration. We're going to have family style meals. You're going to be able to have different conversations with people. Rancho Chilamante itself has the capacity to hold, I think, up to 20 people.
Mm.
It's a big, beautiful space. They have a big yoga deck, and they've got a hot and cold plunge, a sauna,
Wow.
a
I want to
pool.
go there right now.
I
It
know.
sounds amazing.
I know. They've put a lot of care and details into it. So it has capacity to hold really big, epic retreats. I've done retreats in the United States. So it is exciting. It's going to be my first international retreat.
Oh,
And I know, like, the one thing that probably hangs people up is, one, the noise in the background about how quote unquote unsafe Nicaragua is.
yeah.
Not
Big
true.
question I get all the time. I get that all the time in my channel.
Yeah. And then, like, the flight details, which
Mm.
you come in and out all the time. Our family path is usually, we're coming from Oregon, so we're usually going to Dallas or Miami, and then
Yeah.
from one of those hubs, it's a very easy flight. Avianca is cheap. It's kind of like the Spirit Airlines of the South, right? And then
Yeah.
United and American both go into Nicaragua. How do you travel when you go back and forth? Because
Yeah,
you're
it's a good question. From the Bay Area in San Francisco, there's a flight that goes from there to El Salvador. So it's a 5 hour flight, and then from there it's like a 40-minute flight to Nicaragua. So like super quick. But I done the Texas route, like you mentioned,
yeah,
and I like that one because it's 3 hours and then 3 hours. So it's like broken down in half the
yeah,
hours you're on the plane. So I just don't like being on the plane at all. So I'd rather try to minimize as much as possible. But
yeah.
it's not bad. It's easy to get there. And for this package that you got together, does that include transportation from the airport, or can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the price doesn't include your airfare, and
Okay.
it doesn't include the transportation from Managua or Liberia, because I don't know what that's going to cost, because it's all based on how many people we can hub together.
Mhm.
But what I will say is, we are organizing that transportation for you, and so you'll know ahead of time. And the other
Okay.
reason is, you have to pay the driver's cash. You
Okay,
probably
that makes sense. Yeah. And plus you still don't know the exact amount of people. So
exactly.
basically
So
someone would have to pay for their transportation, but you facilitate the
yes,
person where they go so they don't
yep,
have to be in doubt when they
nope.
arrive.
Yeah, so I have a couple of different companies and individuals I would sign up for. The goal, I think, is to collect as many people on on the start and on the end that are coming and going from about the same time, which I think is pretty reasonable in Nicaragua because there aren't like multiple flights coming and going all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty
You're limited, yeah.
and so yeah, so it's going to be based on like if we can get all 5 people in Managua on everybody's coming on the same day. Because the other thing that I ran into, there's a couple people who are like, well, what if I want to go somewhere else in Nicaragua? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
amazing, I can help you find places to go. And some people are like, oh, I've never been to Costa Rica, I want to go through Costa Rica and then come up. Okay, great, amazing. So yes, I will help you figure out all those details. It will be somebody safe. It'll be very reasonably priced, especially if we're connecting you with other people who are coming into the
Yeah.
area.
And now, in terms of the number of days, how long would it be? So for
Yeah,
someone's to looking like in terms of work calendar next year and
yeah.
PTO and all that, you know?
Am I exposing the dates? Can I expose the dates?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead
Okay.
and that. And
Okay.
then I think we should talk about price too. That
Yeah.
way, it's full transparency, you know?
Yeah, I love that. So the retreat is going to start on Monday, March 10th. So the goal would be you're all coming into Nicaragua on the 10th, and we're transporting you to Rancho Chilamante for dinner. So the first
Mm.
event that we're going to do as a collective is going to be March 10th for dinner. And then that gives you all day on Tuesday, all day on Wednesday, all day on Thursday, all day on Friday. So 4 full days in southern Nicaragua.
Hmm.
And like I said, there is an activity every day, and there's yoga every day, and there's conversation every day. But there's also tons of spaciousness, because it's during the week. I understand there might be people who are like, I want to come, but I need to bring my laptop because I'm going to have to work a couple of hours, or I'm
Hmm.
going to have to check in. You get to do that. Like, this is your time, and you can throw your laptop out the window on the airplane, or you can bring it to Nicaragua
Yeah.
and do the work if you want to work, or you can hand it to me and I will hold it safely for you until the end. And then we're suggesting people reserve their travel out for Saturday the 15th. So
Okay.
it's 5 whole nights, 4 whole days, and I think it comes to about 14 meals because we'll provide a breakfast for you on Saturday
Hmm.
the 15th. But a lot of people are probably looking at an early flight if they're
Hmm.
going out on Saturday. So we'll have something light for you to go out, and we'll help again organize the transportation, whether you're flying out of Managua or Liberia, Costa Rica. It's about the same, like, time wise to get to San Juan del Sur. The only difference with Liberia is you do have to like walk that border with your
The border
baggage.
crossing, yeah.
Yeah. Which is, it's easy, it's fine, people do it all the time. It's just, be aware you are going to have to get out of the taxi, walk across the border, and then get into another taxi, but it's all arranged for you. So yeah, March 10th through the 15th. And
And then before, like, how in advance would they have to book and let you know? Like, when's the window close, basically?
yeah, the window's going to close like mid-February.
Okay.
I need to know, you need to have paid a deposit before that window closes, and then I'll take payments all the way up until beginning of March. So with pricing and things, all I'm asking for is a deposit, and I'm negotiable. I in my life there have been many situations and people who have bent the rules so that it works for me.
Yeah.
I really believe in that. And so what I'm going to say is, yes, there's a fixed price because I have to pay these humans who are supporting this retreat, right? Like, so I'm paying the cooks, I'm paying the
All the
people who
meals. I
are,
mean, this
all the
is, yeah, adds
meals.
up.
It does add up, all the
Yeah.
activities. And, I'm American. So even though in Nicaragua it's not custom to tip, I am going to be tipping, the house cleaner at the end
Yeah. You're
of the
looking
week.
out for the people. Yeah.
So because I want to be able to support the house cleaner the same as the cook, the same as, the person who does your horseback ride and your sailboat trip and da 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 da, your massage is paid for through the retreat, the yoga teacher, which maybe it's me. I haven't decided if I want to teach yoga or if I want to have somebody else. But nonetheless, this really isn't a money maker for me personally. It's
Hmm.
really more about, I want you to come experience Nicaragua. I want to create a connection with you. And if through that connection you want to get support through coaching for your personal life or your business, that's the bonus for me. But really,
Yeah.
it's about creating an experience for people. So the all-in price is $2,555. I'm estimating that your transportation costs from the airport, I really think it's going to be less than like $150.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
definitely. I think so too. Yeah.
yeah, and that would be like the solo traveler price, I think.
Yeah. The solo
Um,
guy taking in one car there,
exactly.
I've heard
Um,
of like $80, between 80 to 150, but
yeah,
it depends.
it depends, and and so I think, flights to Nicaragua, man, I've seen them as low as $300. I've seen them as high as $1,000. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people, you can use miles, you can get creative. Avianca is really affordable. Um, so
So
I
I just
think,
gotta say sorry to interrupt there, but I gotta say one thing on the price, that being in
yeah,
Nicaragua for this long, I think it's a killer deal because of all the activities and food and everything that you have going on. It's almost like an entry point into this country without coming into the unknown and not knowing anything. Because a lot of people want to come here, but they have that barrier of they don't know anyone, they don't know where to go, how to set everything up. So if you've never been here and you're into business or you're just into self improvement or you need to recharge, I think
yeah,
this is perfect. I know
yeah,
it's a good way to step into a country and meet people that are looking to do the same thing in their life.
yeah, definitely. And I think, when COVID happened, it's like we kind of isolated ourselves from other humans. And I really,
Hmm.
like, one of my personal goals in 2025 is to help bring people back together and
Hmm.
really help us re-identify with why community is so important. And the number one reason that Nigel, Ruby, and I continue to go back to Nicaragua is because we've cultivated a deep connection and community there, and we're so supported there, in ways that you can't even imagine. So
Hmm.
the escape, this retreat, I think you can be all in for less than $3,000 if you're savvy with your flight.
Yeah.
Um, and for me, I went on a retreat to Morocco last year, and I think I paid $3,500, and that didn't include my airfare. Um, and it was the best experience I've ever had because I never had to think. I literally just
Exactly.
I just followed the group. I ate where we were scheduled to eat. I did the activities that were there. I did skip yoga one day because I wanted to sleep in because jet lag, to Morocco
Yeah.
is pretty hardcore.
It's a long
But
flight.
it's a long flight. But like, the reality is that retreat saved my business because I disconnected from everything, and I was just like, I got to take care of
Mm.
myself. I got to remember why I'm doing all this hard work. So I'm really trying to create something that I experienced, and gift it to other people. And Nicaragua has my heart.
And question, is
Yeah.
it only for women or men? That way we got it clear, because I know I have
Yeah.
some men watchers here, some women, and or maybe even couples,
Yeah.
so.
I think at this point I'm pretty open. I think the majority of the activities, the conversation is going to be geared towards women because
Hmm.
I'm a woman who leads women.
Yeah.
Um, but if there, with that being said, if there's somebody who's like, I'm down to have this conversation, and they identify differently, I think that all the more power to them. But I think it's good to note that the women who are committed are women, mothers,
Yeah.
and entrepreneurs. Um,
Okay.
my husband's not going to be there. My daughter's not going to be there. It really, but again, Rancho Chilamante is big. So if there is a gentleman interested and he's like, hey, I just want to come, we can definitely, make room. We can make room. But yeah, it is definitely going to be a little more feminine in the activities, in the conversation. Um,
Yeah, geared towards
yeah,
women, I think more like,
yeah,
yeah. I feel it. I think that's good because I watch your content and stuff like that, and I know your audience, and I think
yeah,
that's where you nail it right there, geared towards women.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and well, I mean, amazing to me. This sounds spectacular. I think it's a good way to step into Nicaragua, recharge yourself, and get ready for this 2025. Right? You're gonna
yeah.
step into the year early and get a place to recharge. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, and everyone who comes gets a bag of your coffee. So
Oh yeah, immense coffee. Yeah,
all the
so
more
that's right.
incentive to come
Yeah,
and experience Nicaragua and have a taste of your coffee. I get a shipment from you every month, and it's like I need to up our order because we don't get enough. We go through it too fast. It's so good.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And so, how should we do this? How should people reach out? And like, what would be the easiest for you if they have questions and are
yeah.
interested?
So I'm active, as you know, on Instagram. But I think the easiest is to you can either go to my website and get the contact information off of there, which is carissadean.com, or you can email me hello@carissadean.com. But I'm out there, I'm available. Um, and yeah, I would love, I think 2025 is really the year of the entrepreneur stepping into aligned business, aligned living. I know that's what your content is about,
Hmm.
how you left corporate to pursue entrepreneurship and rebuild in your community and rebuild, your coffee farm. And it's hard work, but it's like there's purpose and there's passion. And so what I want to do for women is ignite our confidence to do
Hmm.
that, to find the aligned action, to find the aligned business. And I want to say, you don't have to be a CEO of a business. You can be the CEO of your life and your home. And that is equally as purposeful. So that you don't have to be a business owner. You can be a wife, you can be a mom, you can be a worker, and you are a CEO in your own life.
Wow, that's a good way to put it because most people don't realize the amount of work it is to just run a household and have your life
Yeah.
in order and everything. It can get stressful, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And those individuals need a break too, especially,
Mm.
if you're a wife who's running the house and taking care of kids, like it's
Yeah.
work. It's work.
I can feel it. I have a
Yeah.
1.5 year old and I see my wife all the time. I'm like, wow, it's a superpower.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Well, Carissa, I thank you for your time. I think that we talked a lot about Nicaragua. I think we shared pretty well what's going on. And I hope that people watching this, if you're interested, don't be scared to reach out to Carissa. I'm going to drop her contact information in the description and in the comment section there. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
I'm excited to
and
see you in
yeah,
Nicaragua.
I know we should make it happen. We will make it happen
We will
somehow.
make it happen this year.
All right. Have blessings and have a good weekend. Okay.
Thank you.
Goodbye.